What's the dumbest way someone has ever gotten kicked out of a school club? Roy walked into chess club like he'd taken a wrong turn after football practice. Varsity jacket, slicked back hair, smelling faintly of Gatorade. He looked like the last person you'd expect to touch a chessboard. Mrs. King, our sponsor, raised one eyebrow but said nothing, because technically anyone could join. The hardcore chess kids weren't having it. These were the types who spent weekends watching YouTube lectures on openings. Kids who could tell you the difference between the Caro-Kann and the Perk like it was gossip. To them, Roy was an intruder. Leo, our club president and self-proclaimed future grandmaster, leaned back in his chair with this smug grin like he was about to witness a public execution. Roy sat down, asked which piece was the horse, and the whispers started flying. Half the club was already drafting jokes for group chat, but then Roy started playing. First game, Jennifer. She opened strong, already picturing her victory speech. 12 moves later, she was staring at a checkmate she didn't see coming. The room went quiet, maybe a fluke. Second game, Alex. He leaned forward, determined to put this jock in his place. Roy baited him into a trap so clean it looked rehearsed. Another checkmate. Alex just muttered, "What the hell?" and walked off. By now the whole room had formed a circle. Roy looked up, shrugged, and asked, "Anyone else?" Leo, the king of chess club, stepped in like a gladiator entering the arena. 20 minutes later, his kingdom was in flames. Roy dismantled him piece by piece until Leo was just staring at the board like someone had unplugged his entire personality. That should have been the peak. But then Mrs. King decided she couldn't just stand by. She'd been running the club for 15 years, undefeated in every casual match. She walked over, cracked her knuckles, and pulled out her fancy tournament set like she was about to defend the honor of the entire faculty. The match started. At first, she had this smug smile, making confident opening moves. 5 minutes in, the smile was gone. 10 minutes later, she was sweating. Roy was countering everything. Every attack she tried, he flipped into a worse position for her. He was playing like a shark circling its prey. Then it happened. Roy slid his rook across the board and said, "Checkmate," in the most casual tone possible, like he was asking for extra ketchup. Mrs. King's face went crimson. Instead of congratulating him, she slammed her palms on the table and accused him of cheating. Said he had to be using a phone app. Never mind that his phone wasn't even out. She doubled down, ranting about mocking the integrity of the game. Then, in front of everyone, she announced Roy was officially banned from chess club. The room exploded. Half the students were trying not to laugh, the other half were filming under the table. Leo looked relieved, like his ego had just been rescued by divine intervention. Roy just sat there with the most confused expression, holding his varsity jacket like, did I just get expelled for being too good? The next morning, the whole thing detonated. Roy's mom marched into the principal's office carrying a giant cardboard box. She dumped it on the desk and outspilled trophy after trophy. Regional championships, state medals, glossy plaques. Roy had been a chess prodigy since middle school. He'd quit competing because he got tired of being called a nerd, but apparently destroying everyone casually on Thursdays was still fun. The principal's jaw was on the floor. Mrs. King had to sit there while Roy's mom explained that her son didn't just know chess, he'd mastered it years ago. The room was so awkward you could hear the wall clock ticking. In the end, Roy got a written apology from the school and an official invitation back. Now, Roy comes back every week just to flex. He strolls in, still wearing that varsity jacket, plays one game, annihilates whoever's brave enough, and walks out without a word. Mrs. King doesn't even glance up anymore. She just hides behind a stack of papers, pretending she can't hear the sound of pawns being sacrificed. Leo's having a full existential crisis. Last Thursday, he actually asked Roy for advice. Roy didn't hesitate. Stop treating chess like it's life or death, just play. Then he checkmated Leo again in 15 minutes flat. The funniest part? Roy doesn't even gloat. He just plays, wins, and leaves, which somehow makes it 10 times worse for everyone else.